This week on Spear Gun Hunter, we hunt the cool waters of California's San Clemente Island with expert spearfishers Mel Mitchell and Skip Helen. Compared to tropical diving, this is another world. A lush undersea garden filled with exciting encounters, including stomping big yellowtail.
Very cool.
They were all that big. Very excited. Really makes our day.
This is a beauty.
I'm Sherry Day. I'm a national spearfishing champion and multiple world record holder. And my hunting grounds are the wildest on earth. In the open sea, you never know what will show up. The ocean is full of adventure and serious danger. But I live for the thrill of the hunt. Good morning, Spear Gun Hunter fans. Today we are 55 miles offshore from Los Angeles at the island of San Clemente. We're here with our good friends Mel Mitchell and Skip Helen, and we are hunting for what is primarily the typical fish of California, white sea bass and yellowtail. There could be other fish, but it's that time of year where we're hoping for some nice schools of yellowtail. They are Florida's version of the amberjack, a strong, powerful fish, member of the jack family, and we'll be looking. Hopefully the schools will be coming by. We'll hang around the bait fish and hope for a good day.
All right, today's plan is we're gonna find the big yellowtail. I've been coming to this island for many years. I know certain hot spots, and I got a clue where there are gonna be today. So you guys ready? We're gonna take off now.
Oh, we're ready.
All right, yeah. All right, let's get them. You know, I love diving. I go every week, weather permitting, or family function permitting, and I can't get enough of it, really. I get away from all the stresses of everyday life, of work and pressure and phone calls, and I get to jump into another world. For me, it's therapy. Without it, I don't think I would be pleasant to be around, but it gives me a sense of peace, and it brings me close to my spirit when I'm in the water. And when I'm out on the ocean, I feel free. I'm at peace, and I love it. Wouldn't give it up for anything.
Finding a yellowtail can be a little tricky. A few hundred yards can make all of the difference. And knowing the likely spots only comes with years of experience.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Mel and Skip discuss the options. They also communicate with other spearfishers who have recently shot yellowtail on the island.
We're, straight ahead about 100 feet.
But just because they were in one spot yesterday does not mean they will be there today. So it's a combination of knowledge and luck. Our first spot has proven itself a number of times. So our spearfishers gear up for the first dive of the day.
Skip, you coming in?
Absolutely. I'm gonna come watch you shoot your fish.
Where do you suggest I go on the edge? You think the baits? Find the bait, go to the edge of it?
Go outside the kelp line and try to find the bait, and then whichever direction they're swimming in, go with that until you run out of bait. Get a big one, Cher. California's got relatively cold water compared to some of the tropical regions, so we have to wear thick rubber suits. In the summertime, we can get by with 5. In the wintertime, we usually use 7 mil. Today, I'm wearing a 7 mil because I don't like to get cold.
All right, I'm ready to go.
But cold water on this coastline allows us then, of course, to have more pelagic kind of types of fish, and yellowtail being one of them. white sea bass being another. Get a big one, Mel. You know, after 50 years in this sport, I still have a great thrill every time I get back in the water. And today we're going to be hunting the big yellowtail. And this island is known for that. And I just can't wait to get back in the water today and shoot those big fish.
Aside from spearfishing, California diving has much to offer. Huge forests of giant kelp that are home to a wide variety of marine life. And then there's the usual visit from California's sea lions. They're really more like a seagoing dog that just loves to rush in and grab your speared fish if given the chance.
I feel like a seal going through here, popping my head up. It's beautiful, though. Beautiful.
When we come back, more exciting encounters, including 7-foot soup-fin sharks and big yellowtail.
Fish are really skittish today. We'll probably put one on the scoreboard.
Very exciting. Really makes our day.
This is a beauty.
Today we are 55 miles offshore from Los Angeles at the island of San Clemente.
Our guides Mel Mitchell and Skip Helen are both veterans of California spearfishing, and the day has already produced a number of close encounters of the flippered kind. Spear tips.
You can't come here and not go kelp diving. That is one of the beautiful parts of diving in California. This here is called giant kelp. It can be intimidating when you first try it because if you're not sure how to swim through, but the Californians taught me there are some natural channels between the kelp, and so what you try to do is dive down and kind of slither through the channels and then come up where there's an opening. Or if it's really thick, some guys just actually do kelp crawling right on top and just get through the thick stuff on the top, but it's easier to just keep dropping down, swim through the channel and come up in an opening, or sometimes you just part the kelp with your arm and come up. The one thing you don't want to do is panic and start thrashing and get yourself all tangled.
This friendly bat ray seems to approve of Sherry's technique and shadows her as she moves through the kelp forest.
It's a beautiful, magical experience, and I would recommend it for everyone.
Our next encounter is with a harbor seal. Seals and sea lions are completely different animals. Unlike the bold, aggressive sea lions, seals are generally shy. But if you have good manners, they seem to be just fine with your presence. Just outside the kelp forest, Mel Mitchell is on the lookout for signs of yellowtail. Sherry Day dives deep to see if she can spot one as well.
Yellowtail are powerful members of the jack family. Some of the most effective ways to work the yellowtail is along the outside edges of the kelp forest. We look for the bait running along the edges, we swim up to the front of the bait, and we work those edges. The predators usually come in along the outside edges of the bait line, and that's where we find the big quality fish. When you shoot one, especially if you don't get a good shot, you're in for the battle of your life. So we use the right kind of equipment to handle those kind of battles in order to put those fish on the boat and have something to go home for dinner. If you've never shot a yellowtail before, the most important thing to do is to swim with the fish. As you see them coming into visibility range, the idea is not to swim at them, but yet with them. The idea is to get them to blend in with you. What we usually say is be with the sea.
An expert at hunting yellowtail, Skip Helen practices what he preaches. Moving gracefully through the water to avoid spooking the fish, he follows the bait. And soon, a school of yellowtail looms into view. Skip lines up on the largest fish and nails it with a well-placed shot. Now the fun begins. Skip will let the yellowtail run for a bit, holding onto the shock line, which is tied off to a large float on the surface. Soon the fish will tire out. But Skip is careful not to put too much pressure on the line. These are powerful fish and can easily tear off, but Skip is patient. Mel Mitchell dives down for a look and decides not to put a second shot on the fish. The detachable spear tip appears to be securely anchored. And soon, Skip brings it to the surface and gets control of this beautiful yellowtail. Landing a yellowtail like this is always a thrill. And right now, Skip is one happy underwater hunter.
All right, finally scored. That was a tense sighting, and I finally got one on. The fish were really skittish today, but we finally put one on the scoreboard. Chalk one up for the raptor. All right.
We were just treated to a really unbelievable experience in the water. Big suitfish, sharks, seal, lots of life. You could swim right up to them, they would come up to you. That was amazing.
We've already seen 2 yellowtails. It's only a matter of time before more come along.
Yahoo!
Beautiful fish.
They were all that big.
Got some beautiful carp and some beautiful fish.